Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new reaction video brought to you by J&J Toy Giants. I'm your host JD, and for the past couple weeks, you've been seeing on our YouTube channel that I've been reacting to a couple of trailers for Ahsoka, which is actually coming a day early. They actually announced it last week, that instead of the 23rd, it's actually going to be coming out on the 22nd. Now, I'm not sure if that's actually going to be when they're actually going to be showing the show every Tuesday instead of every Wednesday, or they're just giving it to you a day early and then every Wednesday after that, or when the actual new episode will come out. I'm not sure. They actually haven't said anything about that, but they did say that they are going to be releasing it one day early on the 22nd. They recently, this past week, also released kind of like a 7-minute video as to kind of get you acclimated as to what everything has transpired from episode 3 up until Ahsoka. And so I'm interested to see exactly what I was told on the last video. If you remember, I told you that I was told by one of my friends how Ahsoka became to be Anakin's Padawan when he wasn't a master. You have to be a master in order to be able to have a Padawan. It's basically how it works in the Jedi way. But what I was told is just that the Jedi Order said, here, give him a Padawan, and maybe that'll help him grow to become a master, that's what they're going to actually discuss in this 7-minute trailer, talking about the Jedi way, the Jedi culture, and, basically get us up to speed as to what happens in Ahsoka. So we are already, in the knowledge of what's going on, so we're not like thinking too much while we're trying to watch the show. For those of you that are watching us for the very first time, thank you so very much. We hope that you like and subscribe. We just recently started doing reaction videos. If you wanted to get exclusive content, reaction videos that is not on the YouTube channel, be sure to look at our link in the description of this video to get to our Patreon page and choose a tier that suits you best. And you're going to get some exclusive reaction videos that you're not going to get on the YouTube channel. But we do hope that you like the content that is already on the YouTube channel. You can see right on the actual video here all of our socials. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and also follow us on Twitch. So without further ado, I'm going to be going over this little 7-minute trailer for Ahsoka. So let's start.
Always two there are. No more, no less. A master
And an apprentice.
and an apprentice.
Star Wars always has these great master-apprentice relationships.
Remember, a Jedi can feel the Force flowing through him.
You see that handing down of mastery, the teaching, the developing, the growing.
Do or do not. There is no try.
It's very much the idea of apprenticeship. The need for those two
That
groups
was
to come
cool.
together in order to
Say
pass
what you
down
will
the
about The
knowledge
Last
and to help
Jedi.
save
That
the
was
world.
cool
In the case of Star Wars.
When I
Luke
left
being
you,
able to
I
get
was but
the
the
X-Wing
learner.
to
Now
come up because he
I
couldn't
am
get
the
the X-Wing
master.
out of the swamp in
Only a master
Dagobah.
of evil, Darth.
Those life lessons are what make these characters some of the most iconic characters worldwide.
The war is just beginning, and I will not be the last Jedi.
All of that wisdom gets passed down, over those generations. We have Qui-Gon Jinn, who's the master of Obi-Wan, who's the master of Anakin Skywalker.
Not a lot of people
and by
give
being
Qui-Gon
trained by
Jinn
Anakin, Ahsoka
his
is
just
part
due.
of that
He was a
legacy
great,
as well.
even though he was a little bit too on the risky side, but he was a great master to Obi-Wan. Special look at Ahsoka.
Ahsoka is a character that Dave Filoni created and worked with George Lucas on in the Clone Wars.
Originally, we didn't really know, exactly what the Clone Wars was going to be, and we made up our own little band of characters. There was a character that was a Jedi, and there was a Padawan, and thought we'll put them on adventures. But George had other ideas. He says, well, in this character, and he points to the Padawan we had, and he says, let's give Anakin Skywalker a Padawan. And I was like, Anakin doesn't have Padawan. And he just looked at me and said, Anakin as a Padawan. And that was
Oh,
basically it. That's
okay.
how Ahsoka
So my
came
friend
about.
was right. They just decided to give him a Padawan.
We
Okay.
cast Ashley Eckstein to be the voice of the character. And she's fantastic in the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Ahsoka is one of the most well-developed characters in Star Wars, period.
She's the apprentice
Rosario
of Anakin
Dawson
Skywalker.
never
She's
ceases
the only
to
one that
amaze me of
he's
what
trained
type
to be a
of
Jedi.
This young
Just
teenage
her
girl
acting,
who was
you know?
trained to be a keeper of the peace, had to become a warrior, worthy of standing next to the
loved
greatest
her in
Jedi
Rent.
of all
She did a
time.
good job in Rent. Dave's journey. Okay.
Ahsoka's
I'm liking what
story
they're
and
showing
her
so
growth
far.
has mirrored my own. As you see my style of storytelling mature, the stories got more complex. It had grown to the point where I wanted to take what I was doing in animation and really see if I could get it to this type of storytelling that I'd grown up with in Star Wars.
Trust me, going from animation to actually
Mandalorian
live
season
action is
1
no
was a
small
perfect
feat.
place for me
There's a lot
to
more involved.
experiment with my own creativity and style, but have a great backstop and support from collaborating with all
I'm
these
actually
other
in college
extraordinary
for film
people.
and digital video editing, so I could kind of understand already what.
So when season 2 came around, I was like, for my episode, I was like, well, I'm going to do Ahsoka. I'm like, I just need to try this. Let's do it.
Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan sent me.
I hope it's about him.
For a character that has such depth and complexity, to bring that character to live action made a tremendous amount of sense.
I want to know, where is your master?
George visited the set when we were filming the lightsaber fight in the Japanese garden, season 2. And I think it was really encouraging.
That was
Dave
actually a really
stepped
good
up to
episode
this
on that,
role.
where she was
And
fighting.
so George would turn to
at the
Kathy
temple.
and myself and be proud of Dave. He was Dave's teacher, and Dave was his apprentice.
Yeah, you know, I could see the similarities. Yeah, George being the master and Dave Filoni being the apprentice. So that's a good
Looks like
description.
this thing I've drawn, you know, but Sarah's done all the research. Like, she knows the character, but now she has to become it in a way that's never happened before.
Yeah, it actually, the thing that feels most awkward right now is talking with you. You know, the posing and you know, sort of the stances we're doing. That's not unusual, but speaking as Rosario while in Ahsoka is a little startling. I really love the transformation and really deep diving into who she is.
Rosario Dawson is just such an incredibly powerful actress, and she loves.
I'm guessing this was actually filmed for this 7-minute trailer before Kathleen Kennedy was let go. Because correct me if I'm wrong, she's not with Disney anymore. They let her go.
Which is an important ingredient. You have to be in it. This is a hard thing. You're going to have to be painted orange every day. You're going to have to put a prosthetic on your head every day. You're going to be training like a Jedi to learn how to lightsaber fight almost every day.
I'm playing someone who is an absolute expert. And so I really wanted to be able to physicalize that as much as possible.
Yeah, Jedi's primary weapon is a lightsaber. There need to be a lot of lightsaber fights.
Yeah.
And they have to be good because our fans know the difference.
When I started getting my stances and some of the
R.I.P. Ray
and,
Stevenson.
you know,
He just
really
recently
getting my
passed away
left
not too
hand
long
up
ago.
to par with my right, that I started to really feel like I was sinking into who Ahsoka was.
Loved him
her
in Punisher.
physicality is such a huge part.
Even
of
though
who
that
she
Punisher
is.
movie was a little
No matter
bit.
how tired I was,
yeah.
I was like, sign me up for some more. Sign me up for some more.
When you step into Star Wars and work with George, you are part of a legacy. You're part of a history, and we had to uphold that history and yet do this completely new and different thing.
Ahsoka is another story where you can step in at any point and not feel that you necessarily have to have seen everything.
Okay.
From the beginning of this series, Ahsoka is out there on the fringe of the galaxy.
Yo, she did that with the Force? That is
She hears
cool.
whispers of
I
this
thought she actually
warlord's
used her
return.
hands for that.
She decides
there's
to
Grand
enlist her
Admiral
friends'
Thrawn.
help.
This is about preventing another war. You know who could help?
Sabine Wren.
I'm not sure she'll want to help.
I'm
All right,
telling the
so
story about this
I thought-
mentor-student relationship that passes from Anakin to Ahsoka to Sabine.
Sasha Banks, I forget her real name,
Easy about being a Jedi.
was
It's
played
quite
Sabine
extraordinary. Bring this
in
to life.
The Mandalorian. Why didn't they have her reprise her role?
When the stakes are this high,
We have to do what's right.
All right. So, that actually went a lot faster than I thought it would. It's only it's only a 7-minute trailer, but so that makes sense. So based on what my friend told me is that they just decided, and they're basically coming straight down from George Lucas's mouth. So yeah, let's give him a Padawan, which then begs the question, like, now I gotta definitely watch the Clone Wars and Rebels, specifically the Clone Wars, because I gotta see how good of a master Anakin was. Because if we knew him to be the way he was in Episode 2, after his mother passed away, even a little bit before that, because you could tell he had a lot of, like, angst and anger, especially after his mother passed away. And of course, we showed what that boiled into in Episode 3. But, for him to be able to train somebody else is going to be interesting to see. I know in the last trailer reaction that I did, I was talking about how like there's a point in the trailer where you hear Anakin's voice, and it was basically Anakin now, essentially when he was in Episode 3, Anakin, and it was Hayden Christensen's voice because his obviously he'd gotten older, so his voice has changed a little bit, but he that was one of the biggest lessons that he was saying in the last trailer is like, trust your instincts, don't think, you got to make a split decision. And whatever it is, you have to own that decision. And that's part of what being a Jedi is whatever you decide to do, make it, you got to go full, full throttle, and you can't be waiting around for people telling you what to do, because at some point you're going to have to make a decision, and it's got to be the one that you got to go with. So I can understand that, and you can always as a parent you can kind of use that in parenting is a lot of times you got to make a decision on how you want to go ahead and teach your children, and you can't just wait for people to tell you what to do. You got to go with your gut. So I liked it. I'm very, very excited for, it's going to be another week. So a week from this Tuesday is when it's going to start. And I'm interested to see what the first episode is going to be. I'm sure the first 2 episodes is going to be a little slow because it has to establish what we're going to see throughout the series. And like I said, I'm in school right now for filmmaking and digital video editing. So I've taken some script writing classes. And I've actually written a couple of, 1.5 scripts. I have one full script, and I'm still working on the other one. And one of the things is that at the beginning of the script or the film or series, you have to establish what the issue for the whole series is going to be. And that is what happens in the beginning of the film, or what they call the first act. And in the series, the first couple of episodes, it's going to be a little slow to kind of figure out what you're going to end up seeing throughout the series. So like in The Mandalorian, that Mando basically is trying to seek his forgiveness to become full Mandalorian because he took off his helmet. And in the first season, he was basically trying to basically get Grogu to his people, and so those are the kind of things that we knew that going through. And then of course in the third season, he wanted to basically take back Mandalore so that they could become and be at peace as Mandalorians. So that actually is something that I'm actually looking to see exactly what is. I know, like in the trailer, obviously Ahsoka is wanting to stop Grand Admiral Thrawn from starting a new war, not redoing the Empire, or in the Empire in his own way that he wants. But yeah, I'm very, very interested to see what's going on. So thank you for you guys watching. I rambled a little bit, so I'm sorry. But Thank you for watching. Tell your friends. Be sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Also comment on any of our video submissions on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And follow us on TikTok. And also follow us on Twitch. And also check out our Patreon page. If you like this type of a review and a reaction channel, or a reaction video rather, take a look at all the 3 different tiers that you can actually subscribe to on our Patreon. It does help us so we can bring you more entertainment, some more content that you know and love. But also, definitely, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll see you next time, and hopefully I'll be able to do a review of the first couple episodes of Ahsoka. But thank you so very much. Keep on cruising.